Good morning. Welcome to today's today's live trading. Well, hopefully we'll get some live trading today. It's non-farm payrolls Friday, so so often on these days we may see some consolidation. At the moment, we're not necessarily seeing some consolidation. So let's just quickly flick through these markets. With the euro here, then we've got it did put a bearish pivot swing in on dailies there. At the moment, we're heading back towards that monthly pivot as it looks. It tested its weekly pivot overnight, rolling through. Might get something there. It's really taking quite a bit of a shove. The biggest thing that's taken a shove so far this morning is gold. We've seen over a $20 move on that. That's had a shove down the bounce, and well, it looks like it may still want to roll over at this stage. So gold still edging south at this stage. Lower highs confirmed in this move now. It is on the 4 hourlies. It's just becoming to look weaker and weaker. There's this daily chart of the gold. Certainly doesn't look particularly good at this stage. We've seen this bigger day down so far today as we saw almost on the whole day on Tuesday there, Wednesday. So the market's looking dollar strength running through at this moment. The pound was looking like it was going to give me a bullish signal at some point this morning, but that's all reversing at the moment, looking quite bearish, and it fits with the direction it was moving yesterday. So we might have a setup this morning. Just need to see how we lock in this for earlier part here, but I am considering the short side on the pound. So I just want to let it get through its early move here. Sometimes you just get this early reactive move, and then off it goes back into the direction it was travelling in. We'll see. So just waiting for a moment to see if we get a setup. So I was looking here for a bit of a retrace on the pound. It has retraced on the pound. I was looking to see if it would get back to the 521. It doesn't seem to have the legs in at the moment. What else may trigger? Well, I was initially looking at a move from about here with a 15 pip stop. May look at the break of the lows as an alternative. Break down here with a stop just above the levels there. We got some room in this. It may it's got its S1 right down here into this territory. It is looking soft, so got room in it for at least a 2 to 1. So I am preparing tickets and just looking at the size of this. So just using my LMAX account on here that I use. So it's adjusted to a 5,000 size risk ratio on this. Probably a 15 pip stop. I need to have a quick measure of that. Pressing the wrong buttons there. May not set up yet. We'll just be a bit patient. The initial move I was looking was from this 21. If it pushes up now, it's putting a higher low in, so I'll be a bit wary of it. But I was looking at that sort of area. Let's just get the pen hopefully to. So that would have given me around about 14-15 pip stop from that sort of area, with a target looking at around, maybe the first target would have been from there about 30 pips. The S1 sits below about 50. This is changing shape quite quickly, this market at the moment. Now it's doing what it's doing. In the shorter time frames, effectively it's putting a reversal, a bit of a reversal on the 2 minute time frame. If it breaks this, it's putting a higher low in, so just being patient, wait to see what happens. It may be that now I'd look just for the break of the lows here, in which case stop right the way up there. Could still leave it up there. Alternatively, we'll just see what shape it puts in here, and it may just be able to put a leaner stop on. It is non-farm payrolls day today, so I'm aware that the moves this morning may be a bit on the limited side. Okay, it's at 521's hit now. Let's just see what reaction it has. So position sizing wise, if I was using a 15 pip stop here, would be 0.4 on a normal contract. Smaller contracts, 10,000 contracts would be 4.5. So I will get a ticket ready for that. So I do have a ticket ready. I just need to adjust the stops there. At the moment, we'll see where we can come to. I'm going to just remove the profit target for a moment, but I've got a ticket ready to go. May adjust this thinking as this price action develops, so just waiting for a moment. So just being patient on the pound. Was looking at a moment ago, it looked like, well, maybe it'll set me up a little sell signal, but it's still wanting to push a little bit further up. It's doing a little bit what it did yesterday. It was a very choppy market yesterday, but it did continue to that downside. It eventually looking softer and softer as it went through, and obviously later and it closes the London session, etc. It made sort of the highs around here. Seems to be maybe getting a base around here, which logic would be if we do get into a trade to take some out towards that base. But at this stage, well, it doesn't look like it's going to set for me now. So more patience. So just coming back to this pound that I was looking at this morning, it's actually just looking at this. It's been dithering and quite a lot this morning. I was looking for the short earlier on when it was setting up back down here, so I'm on a 15-minute time frame. Just come back to that 5-minute time frame I was sitting on earlier. It was looking like a retrace might have given us an opportunity into this. It just carried on. So I knocked that on the head. It is literally the pound of the last couple of days. It's particularly yesterday. It's been in a hell of a lot of chop here. So I've just stood aside for this for now. It's 10:15, so I will leave this and let it go through the doldrums, see what happens. But I've got no intention to do anything with it at the moment. Okay, so it's now 1:05, just preparing to look at the non-farms, but that doesn't come out to 1:30, so I'm just sort of having a look through the markets which may gain. Euro's done pretty well of late, and it's been quite strong, but the yen is possibly I know a lot of our traders at the moment have still got positions on the euro, so today I'll probably be trading, if I get into a trade, maybe trading the dollar yen. Remember, this non-farm payrolls is for the US, and Canada's got their data coming out as well, so that knocks the Canadian dollar out of play. I want it dollar backed. The pound's been choppy as anything. Maybe it'll give some play, but the yen has really been quite strong, and I'm really looking to see if we get an opportunity on the short side here. This has got back to its daily 50. Don't want to be necessarily trading it from here pre-news. It's had a short-term sort of higher low coming through on the 4 hourlies here, and it's now got a bit of divergence over the. I had a bit of divergence. Yeah, got a bit of divergence over the highs here. Just seeing when the news comes out later whether we get a bit of a breakdown on this. With the idea of trading it back more. It's got at the moment untouched daily pivot. It probably will get hit very quickly if it does move. The ranges are quite tight on this still, so I'll just sit and wait. So a bit of time yet. As I said, preference is to see if we can get a move to the downside. There is some expectation that the jobs numbers in terms of unemployment data is going to increase to 6.8, so that's already priced into the market. Traders will have had that news and expectation for, so it's really what else is said and done, so, which may give us a guide. And I'm not going to be trying to trade immediately the news comes out, not normally anyway, unless something really big happens and I could jump aboard, but generally I'll be waiting and letting the market settle first. So just let the news come out. As I said already, no trades this morning at all. Looked at a couple of things, looked at cable. It was looking okay for a while. For originally looking at the sort of longer side, then it sort of set up, got quite bearish, but never came to anything. It just ended up then it just worked its way up. A very choppy looking 60-minute chart. Now of course the news that later on may see this buzz up as well, but my preference at this stage is maybe, as I said, the dollar yen might just be a little bit cleaner to do. Large volume still run through it, so we should get some reasonable fills, but I won't be looking to trade it in its most volatile state, i.e. immediately, so it'll be a bit of patience, but I'll click the recording back on nearer the time. So we're leading into non-farm payrolls. I just thought I'd run this tape as it comes out. I've got absolutely no intention of jumping on board immediately. We'll just see if we can pick up the remnants and take anything away from it. Crikey, I was just looking at a number of different charts at one go here on 2-minute time frames, and that's the euro consolidated, maybe. Whoops, just clicked on the wrong button. There's the pound. Consolidation for sure, and I'm looking at these dollar yen as I said I would. And it's a race to see who can be fast with the news. Here's the fastest with the news. Well, there's reaction to it anyway. That's all that matters, is a reaction. I'm not trying to jump on board on this movement, but the reaction at the moment, here we go. Oh no, I haven't got it yet. I was hoping I was going to get the news flying through. Here we go. Got the Canadian data. I don't attempt these days to try and do anything with these news events. So we're just seeing an inverted play on this with the euro and the pound at the moment, and well, I still haven't seen 140,000. Okay, so that was better than expected. I haven't seen that 140 pop up on my site here at the moment, but 140,000, then new jobs with an expectation of about depends on you read, 60 to 80,000. So some are even saying 50. I had said 50. I'm just looking through my screen here, but not massive moves. 75, 85, 95, 20 pip move on the yen at the moment. It might look. It was shaping up for a different pattern here. Still got quite a bit of time. Actually, it's spoilt that pattern now. It's popped in a lower low, so I was looking for a different pattern to kick in there. So just going to pause this video for a moment and wait, see. I'm just chuckling here with our trading room. This sums it up at the moment. The pound, the euro, and the yen on this 5-minute time frame, all pretty much. Actually, euro stretching its legs a little bit there. It's a big move that. If you get a bit of sarcasm within this, the pound's really moving now. If you get a touch of sarcasm, well, that's because it's all looking pretty dull. Okay, we'll see anyway. Give it a bit of time. Let this market settle itself. It seems the news services are playing around with our brains today, because we saw plus 140 originally on more than one site, and it turns out it's a negative 140. So in other words, there's the US lost 140,000 jobs in December, according to a headline I'm just currently reading, and not gained anything. And maybe why these sites aren't too sure where they're going. Okay, so we've let the yen move. The currencies have moved a little bit here. Just looking, we're short of this trend line break at the moment. It's come up a bit short. Looking to see if we can catch a retracement. A retracement maybe back into these prior highs area. If I can see some sort of reaction off that, the 521, be looking for a short with around about a 20 pip stop. I just need to check that stop size. He says. Yeah, probably 23 pips then. Somewhere in that region, just above the highs there. But just see what reaction we get up here. So just Sitting here patiently for a moment. So I've been sitting and waiting ages for this to come back up towards the sort of prior lows there. I shall still watch what happens here, but the idea of a quickish move back up and then a continuation to the downside is looking less likely with what we're seeing here. Effectively, we've seen a sell-off, a retracement, a pullback, and it's sort of making a higher low through these time frames. So, but I'll sit and wait for a moment longer. Okay, so this yen trade seems to be off at the moment. It's failed to get high enough for me. It's just dilly-dallying, so I will leave that for now. It doesn't seem to want to get there. We'll look to see if anything occurs nearer 3 o'clock-ish time. Sometimes we get a bit of a move, but certainly the non-farms haven't done too much for these markets. So sitting here waiting and waiting and waiting, this yen eventually pushed on and has pushed it, just carried on pushing through. So I've left the short side of this alone now. The medium term picture is still really looking potentially upside. I was hoping that we'd get this sort of pullback and a retrace back to daily pivot 50 MA first target, and then maybe a bit more downside, just not happening. Bigger picture on the yen really is still on the downside, but we just may see a greater correction coming through. It's done very little in the day overall, though. Just looking through other markets from a daily point of view, and the Euro's bounced off its daily 20 simple moving average, and it's bounced off that. The pound's sitting there messy. It's sitting there on its line down the middle is the mean regression level. It's just bounced off that to a degree. Still on the bullish side. The Aussie dollar's allegedly the strongest currency out there today at the moment, but you would question that maybe, but by a minor amount anyway. Canadian dollar just giving up a little bit here. It's been consolidating for a lot of the day. It's now started to catch a bounce. The bigger picture still to the downside, but short term we're seeing these retracements at the moment at least, and this might just push its way through it back into yesterday's highs. Very little movement, and then all of a sudden we're starting to see something, but nothing that I can just immediately jump aboard. So I should just pause this for now. Okay, it's now 20 past 3. There's nothing setting up for me this afternoon. Now it's actually really just returned. It didn't even come back to its 16-minute 50, this dollar yen. If it had been coming off that, maybe I have looked at it in a different way, but just returned back into where it was running earlier this morning. The pound, the yen still, sorry, pound and the euro both also making sort of a recovery, but giving back their gains this afternoon. As say 20 past 3 Friday. I'm going to leave it here. It'll probably now run massively, but nothing new from certainly with the non-farm payrolls. Just is not a tradable move often for me at this stage. So I will wish you a great weekend and hopefully speak to you soon. Take care. Bye for now.